Here we go. Hello, everyone. Make sure I don't have my video going on two things. Anyway, welcome. Welcome back to the Brickanista Broadcast Network. I'm here in Bainbridge Island with my buddy Ferg, who's 6 feet away from me. We're on his patio, which is awesome. It's a beautiful day here in Bainbridge Island. First time for me out here. Very, very excited about this. And I reached out to Ferg and I said, I'm doing another Brickanista on the move. And I said, would you be willing to be a host here? And he said, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen you in what? How long has it been? Since Bricks Cascade, right?
Yeah. So basically about a year.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. In fact, I'm wearing my Sea Lug or my BrickCon 2019 shirt. And the reason why is because Ferg, it convinced me to go out to BrickCon because I met you at Bricks by the Bay.
Correct.
And I met him at Bricks by the Bay and we happened to be hanging out in the pop culture area. And when we were hanging out at the pop culture area, he saw my Spice Pirates ship. And we were hanging out. I think we were the only volunteers in that area too.
We pretty much were. Yeah.
We pretty much held it down because Charles was everywhere. And so when we were chatting some more, he had brought his 2-foot at the time Avengers Tower, which later became the 5-foot
5 foot, yeah.
tower.
Yeah, pretty much installed that one.
It was version 2 is what you showed at BrickCon. So we're at Bricks by the Bay. And so we were chatting a little bit and he saw my Spice Pirates ship and he said, you really should bring that up to BrickCon. And so I started asking him more about it in the Seattle area because you're native to here, right?
Yeah, I've lived on Bainbridge here my whole life.
Yeah.
High school basically up the street.
Oh, wow. Very cool. I mean, this area is amazing. If you've never been to Bainbridge Island, this is literally my first trip here. So I took the ferry over and I've been wide-eyed ever since. I mean, I was just driving around. It's so beautiful here. The views of the sound from all over the island have just been amazing. But the other part of the story, which I'm going to mention to you, I didn't tell you about this, but he brought his Avengers Tower and he told me what he did is he packed it into one of those USPS boxes. Yep. So he shipped it over and he flew on the plane and he hung out with some relatives and he set up this tower and right at eye level, there is a missing piece.
The one piece, yeah.
It's a missing piece. It's this, what is it? Dark gray, right?
The 1x1 dark blue gray brick.
Yeah. And it was so funny because it was driving me crazy because I would see his sculpture and I'm looking at it going, you need to fix that.
Yeah, you were going mad.
I was like, you've got to fix that. So I brought all of my dark blue gray, all of my pieces, and I said, would you fix your model, please?
Yeah, that kind of drove me crazy.
Well, you and I think have that same kind of mentality is that you just want things to look right.
Yeah, but
right.
The thing was, it wasn't on the public side, and it was on the presenter side. So like, I kind of didn't care because like nobody that was looking at it from the public would see it. But every time you pass back on the builder side of the table, yeah, you would.
Yeah, I would just say, Ferg, you got to fix that. Fix it. Would you fix it?
And I'm like, no, I
don't have the pieces. Yeah, because you literally just shipped everything. You didn't bring any of your own supplies.
I broke it all down pretty much to the individual bare parts and put it in a postal box and put it in the mail a week before I got on the plane.
So Dave wanted us to know that they can't hear you very well.
Okay.
So you may need to move closer
I can move closer.
I think you actually might need to move closer to your speaker on your phone, maybe?
Oh,
yeah. Try that. Thank you, Dave. Dave is the ultimate mod.
Dave is the mod.
Yeah. And it's great to have you here. And hi, Robin Eklund. Good to see you. Yeah, so this is my buddy Ferg. And I also blame Ferg for two different things. One is that, he introduced me to BrickCon. And so I call him my convention enabler.
That's me.
because you know, we're hanging out at Bricks by the Bay, and then he tells me you have to go to BrickCon. It is like the ultimate a full experience. And Bricks by the Bay was really the only experience I knew because I have, you know, I lived in the San Francisco Bay Area at the time, and I had gone to Bricks by the Bay 2018. So this was actually my second conference and the first time I actually brought a mock. That I brought a film to my first one, but then when I was at the 2018 one, that's when I became the Brickanista, because then I started asking people, has anybody made a pirate ship with Spice Girls on it? And they said, no, nobody has. And I said, okay, I'm going to do that. So a year later, I brought the Spice Pirates. That's when I met Ferg. And then Ferg told me to come up to the 2019 BrickCon.
Yep.
Yeah. And I remember setting up my ship, and then you came around the corner and you go, you made it. I said, yes, thanks to you.
Yeah.
I'm here. I told you I would come up here. And then the other thing Ferg did, so I forgot to step back a little bit, at 2018 or 2019, we took a tour around the different MOCs, and I showed him this castle that was on a rotating platform. And I said, you really need to do that for yours, because,
for the tower.
Because the tower had so many cool parts to it that you couldn't see because it was static. And then he shows up at the 2019 BrickCon. He's got a 5-foot tower, and it's on a rotating base. That's electric.
Base. Yeah.
It was mind blowing. It was just insane. Oh, Ali Perry's here. The weekend before, we all went into shutdown. Amazed we didn't all come down with COVID. Yeah. Well, no, we're not yet at Bricks Cascade.
Not yet.
We're just talking about BrickCon right now. So 2019, we're at BrickCon. And like I said, Ferg had mentioned to me, I really should bring this with me.
Yeah, check it out.
And so on Friends and Family Night, that's when my friend Jolene and a couple of my other friends came to family night that Friday. And then one of my friends told me, oh, I have this extra room I'm trying to get filled. And if you hear of anything, let me know. So I think 2 weeks after BrickCon, because that's usually what, the first weekend of October.
Yeah, it was October 4th.
So I would say 20 days later, because it was October 24th or 25th, I got evacuated for the second time.
That's right, yeah.
The second time from the Northern California fires. And so I called my friend Jolene, who I had met at BrickCon, who's a friend of mine, and she came for Friends and Family Day. I said, is that room still available? I said, I am coming up. I said, I am done. I am done with these California fires. So Dave says his tie to Ferg is that I, like him, got sucked into the Jurassic Park vortex at Bricks Cascade. We will get to that. We're almost at Bricks Cascade.
Almost there.
We're almost there. Okay, so I get evacuated, and I just told Ferg, I said, Ferg, guess what? I'm moving to Washington.
I'm like, oh, cool.
I am moving up here. I said, I'm done. And thanks to him, so there's kind of like a cascade of events. Because
the snowball.
Because I met him in July?
Yeah,
July. At Bricks by the Bay. Then in October, I went to BrickCon, and then I moved here November. It was like 3 weeks after I got evacuated. I just said, I'm done. I'm out of here. And I had all my stuff in storage. I was staying at a Airbnb at the time, and I just said, you know what? I don't have to stay here. I can move. I can get out of here.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I get up here, and the next thing I know, this is where Ferg says,
I'm like, oh, hey, if you're
since you're here, guess what? Bricks Cascade is in February. And also, since Ali is on the chat right now, Ali also convinced me, as well as Brickworm. So between the three of you, it was almost like this peer pressure. You gotta go to Bricks Cascade. Yeah. Yes. Well, I wouldn't say bad influences, because if you think about it, Bricks Cascade was the last convention before lockdown. And
a good thing.
Yeah. And I almost didn't go because I had to go on a business trip. So Brickworm took some of my MOCs down in her car. I flew down, I think Friday, and then I ended up driving back with Brickworm. So it was just an interesting series of events, because if I had not gone, I would have missed out on that last convention. And that was so much fun, because one thing Ferg was telling me was that, Bricks Cascade has this huge space, and I ended up working on a pirate ship in the middle of the pirate castle area. And that's where I also met some other people too that I got to know, like Dave. I think I met you at Bricks Cascade. And I also had a chance to meet Boone in person. And I also met, kind of in a weird way, I met Fourth World Adam. So Fourth World Adam stopped by and he noticed I was wearing the pirate hat. So he asked me, where are the cosplayers? And I said, I don't know. You probably should ask Allie Perry, because I know she's big into the cosplay. And he was dressed in, I think, a castle wolf costume. And I guess because I was wearing the pirate hat, he thought that I would know. Yeah. So anyway, I ended up doing a collaboration with Fourth World Adam later for Bricks LA. So it's all interesting how it all kind of melds together. But so going back to Jurassic Park, is that, I'm hanging out with Ferg, and, I told him I need some 2x2 inverse slopes in brown, or dark red brown. I can't remember. And then, so we ended up swapping there. And then he said, oh yeah, I'm part of this Jurassic Park collab. And in fact, they're behind my computer here, but he also recruited me, Dave. So I have here, I just got this today, actually.
She got the vet patch.
I got the vet patch. So I have to get a lab coat, and I'm going to get the vet patch put on there. And then I have a Jurassic World patch too. Thank you, Ferg.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get that to you for like a year, and I just found it a couple months ago in a drawer. So.
Well, now I really have to get to putting my mock together. But thankfully, I got all my leaves and my tree trunks from my jungle collab, so I can do that. So I have a special gift for you today.
You got a special gift for
Yes,
me?
I do.
Ooh.
And I saved it for now because we wanted to talk about me wearing the pirate hat and everything. So I wanted to show everybody. And Ferg will really appreciate this because he's into minifigs. But this is my sig fig, and it has the special head from the pirate series, the old pirate series, and I knew you would actually appreciate that. So I wanted you to have that. So
I love all these classic heads. They're some of my favorites.
Well,
of all time.
I normally don't put a classic head on them when I give them away, but I said Ferg's special, so I wanted to, and you would appreciate it, and you would appreciate it, and he also has these cool stickers, and I forgot to bring my stickers over, but I will send them to you in the mail. But we have this one, the Ferg sticker, and he also had bestowed on me the Turk lug. I have his Turk lug brick. So if you don't know about Turk lug, Ferg is the one who started Turk lug. And I also reached out to him because we have a group that's starting Lavender lug. Here's what's this one? This says Mini Bigs.
Yeah, Mini Bigs is one of my friends. He makes he has his own custom lines of figures. He now has his own printing in-house. This is his latest figure, Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt
from the movie. So I had a bunch of extras of those. So.
Yeah, so I'm adding to my collection, and this is great.
Yeah.
And I know that Ferg is also part of an elite group
I am
of citizen brick buyers.
That's right.
In fact, he even told me, he goes, if you need something, you tell Joe, you know Ferg. Yeah. And he'll hook you up. And I was like, so how many do you have in your citizen brick collection?
Well, the CB cases, I have two 350 figure cases.
350?
They're not completely full.
Wow.
But they're kind of stuffed. And I've got three hardware sorter bins full of CB stuff as well.
Wow.
Yeah, it's massive.
Well, he has a cell phone. So if he wanted to give a tour later, we might convince him to do that.
I can do that.
But I wanted to catch up on the chat that apparently Dave is that he plans to get a shirt and a Ranger patch to go along. So like I said, I decided I have to do the veterinary services
Yeah.
group. And I
Yeah.
guess I need to make it like giant poop
Yes.
piles
Yeah,
too,
one by-
right?
One by one around the place. Let's get some.
Okay. Not just one by ones. For the dinosaurs, you need massive, massive sculptures there. And I think I have to get, what is it, the Jeff Goldblum
Yeah.
minifig,
Yep.
right? Looking at the poop.
Yeah, of course.
And then Allie Perry, the last time we all hung out together was at Bricks Cascade. Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah. And I'm really so glad, Allie. I know that you and Brickworm leaned hard on me to go, as well as Ferg. And it was just like, okay. I relented. And I'm so thankful. And also Dave says, you're a lucky guy, Ferg. I think because of the sig fig. Yeah, I've only given out, I think, 5 sig figs so far.
Yeah.
And yours is the only one with the classic head. Yeah. The classic female head with the black hair.
Yeah,
So
those are great. I gotta get that new CMF collectible minifigures hat with the hair.
yes. I have
And break out my model paints to
yeah, in fact,
it'll make it a little darker.
one of the things we were talking about model paints, and oh, hi, Taro Knutinen from Finland. This is my buddy Ferg, who lives here in Bainbridge Island.
Hello.
Yeah, so Taro is one of my newer followers, and I think you may have seen, if you see my down camera right now, this is, let me see if I can highlight this so you can see it a little bit better. I'm still trying to do all this with my laptop. Okay, spotlight. Okay, so here's my little mini city. Oops, that's right, I took this off. So this is the BBN tower. And before coming over here, I was asking Ferg, I was gonna paint this because I had a tan one. And he says, I have a black one. You can have it.
Yeah.
I said, are you kidding me? I looked on Bricklink. It's $30 for this piece.
That's from the 2011 Lighthouse Island set, which that was the only newer tech set that piece came in.
Yeah, so one of the things that I'm doing is, this is a new technique I learned from my buddy Debo. And if you can see inside, I know it's a little dark here, but there is a lifter arm here, and the lifter arm has a pin to axle, and the axle goes threaded through the bracelet, and then you put a bushing. And so he showed me this technique, and then I've got a couple of different bracelets here, and I've created the Brickanista Broadcast Network Tower. And this is important for you, Ferg, is that we're using lavender. And I reached out to Ferg and I said, is there anybody doing lavender lug? Because you're doing Turk lug.
Yeah.
And he said, you need to check with Lord Lavender. And I go, okay, who's Lord Lavender?
my sister, Brick buddy Steve Brock. He's a very, very cool guy.
Yeah, so I did reach out to him, and he said, no, he's not doing anything with lavender lug, so go ahead and use it. Oh, hey, Joel Marbella, welcome. Good to have you here. Yeah. So what I'm doing today is that Ferg gave me some black 1x8, so I'm going to replace these. And I know you gave me 4.
Yep, there's one more underneath your laptop.
It's underneath my laptop?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see it poking out.
Okay. Hold up. Sorry, folks. But yeah. And awesome sig fig. Thank you. Yeah, I have, like I said, I've given them to special people. And I blame Ferg for bringing me out. I shouldn't say blame. I appreciate you.
No, you can say blame. It's all right.
Well, he already knows he's my con enabler.
That's right.
Because
I'm the little voice on the shoulder.
yeah, because he's also been mentioning to me that you had reservations for Brick World, right? You were going to go to Chicago.
Yeah, I still got that flight refund and hotel refund. So.
Yeah, so he was telling me that he needs to scope it out and let me know.
Yeah, because that apparently is the big one for the United States. So I need to test that theory.
Yeah, see, look how much better this looks with the BBN tower with black. Yeah. So, and then Ferg, as we were talking, he goes, I have these 1x2 trans blue that we could put as windows, or we can do 1x1s translucents. And he goes, that would look cool too. And I'm like, wow. So I also get a lot of good ideas from Ferg when we're talking about just building and such. Catalog is in your head. So there we go. So thanks to Ferg. And we've swapped parts and things before. Actually, it's more like I've stolen from his collection.
Mistaken, but I mean, that's because I've got 20 years of Lego up there up in my studio bedroom. So,
But you don't have a Brickanista sig fig until now. So you can add that to your collection.
They just haven't been assembled in the correct way.
That's true. I've never told you the secret sauce until now.
That's right.
Okay, so this is what the Brickanista Broadcast Network tower is going to look like now in my little mini city, which I'm very excited about. So I will attach this later because what we were going to do today is we were going to work on some I was going to work on a Speed Champion set, which I have here, because I got this from Remy Baker. I won this as a door prize. But before I do that, I'll just show you the rest of the tower. Let me see. Oops. It's falling apart. Let's put this down. All right. So we have this little mini tower here. We have the Trolls Tower, which is what I'm calling it for now. Let me angle this up a little bit so when I turn it, you'll see it. Yeah. So I've been using the Trolls pieces for that, and then I've got this little. I've actually had a way to connect the lavender, it's from the video case, the handle from the video case. And then this is a Trolls felt piece too. So anyway, it's a little mini city, and then the Brickanista Broadcast Network tower. And Ferg gave me some tips on how I can connect this. And so, yeah, so I think this is going to be a keeper, this little tower. So thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I'll give you these pieces in exchange. You can have this assortment of 1x8s.
1x8 yellow plates.
Is that you need those?
I don't think so. Because I think I've got
You've got plenty.
40 of these. And then I think I've got about 30 of the dark blues. I know I just sorted those out.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. We can always use one.
Yeah, so Allie says, awesome sig fig. Thank you. Yeah. And it's like 10 more days until we find out if BrickCon will be live. Yes, that's true. In fact, I have an interview with RJ Coughlin for another Brickanista on the Move, and that will be on the 18th. So we will know officially, and then he will be able to tell us some more behind the scenes about what led to their decision, whichever way it is. And I'm also excited because, here, let me turn this way. That's a little bit better. I'm excited because I'm going to be the Dystopia theme coordinator.
Grand Marshal of the Dystopian theme.
Grand Marshal of the Dystopian theme. And I wanted Allie Perry to know this because I want to have like multiple days of cosplay. So one day could be we're all dressed like zombies.
There you go.
Another day we're dressed up like, Mad Max warriors. And then another day we could be like top hats and some other things for like steampunk. So I'm very, very excited about this. In fact, I'm working on a standard for a steampunk ship. And we want to have a big steamship or steampunk ship airport that people can bring their variety of steampunk ships. And since Dave Morgan is here, we are also going to have the dream bunkers too in Dystopia. So we're going to have two different collabs. That's right. And Dave has been really kind. Dave and Perry Wang and I think Mark Crookshank, who came up with the standard and has shared that with me. And so I'm super excited that we're going to be doing that. Debo's here. Hey, Debo. Good to see you. Yes. And oh, thank you, Dave, you're excited because we're going to do the dream bunkers. Yeah. In fact, I've been trying to promote the dream bunkers at every con I've gone to.
Yeah.
So like I went to BrickCan and I convinced everybody who had put in a dream bunker for Bricks Cascade to file it there. I went to Bricks by the Bay, did the same thing. But when BrickCon comes around, whether it's virtual or in person, we are going to have a Dream Bunker collab. We're just going to go ahead and do that. So you've been warned, you've been served, you've been served. You need to come up with something, because I also need to work now on my Jurassic Park veterinary hospital. So I got to get on it, because that's in October, right? Or is Bricks Cascade, or is it March of next year?
That is going to be in March.
Yeah. I have time. And I know Ferg will keep me accountable.
I will.
Was that Connie?
No.
Okay. I'm not sure who Connie is.
No, it was not. No.
Okay. All right. So today, like I said, we just said, in fact, I wanted to thank Ferg too, because Speed Champions I had never really been familiar with.
Yeah.
And I got my first Speed Champion set thanks to Ferg, and I got the Dodge Charger Challenger set.
Yeah.
Because he recommended that. Now, what is your opinion about this Ford Fiesta M Sport?
It has great parts, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little big, because the Fiesta is a very small, compact car, but the build for that is still big. But,
okay.
I think it comes with good parts. I've gotten a few of those just to harvest out.
Well, I already told Ferg that, since we're kind of doing this outside and I'm like not in my own space, I'm not going to put the stickers on. I'm going to leave the stickers off, and I'm just going to build the car. But I'm not really big into cars. And when Deneen and I mean, this is no secret, Deneen and I had been partners, and Deneen had reached out to me, Brickworm, and she asked me if I would be her partner for Lego Masters. And so we were just studying up all of these different techniques. And I remember I go, we need to talk to Ferg.
Right.
So we set up a conference call with Ferg, and we were talking about, what do you do when you're building cars? And he said, just keep building more cars and start with the Speed Champions set.
Yep.
So this will be, I think, my second Speed Champions build. And that's why I thought this would be perfect to build with you. So that's the plan for today. We're just going to chat and build. And what are you building on your side?
I've got the 74 Porsche Turbo 3.0.
Well, that would definitely beat this car in the speed track too.
Yeah, maybe.
So, hello. There's a Russian person on, Miro Rusa. Hello. Yeah. So anyway, so if you have questions for me or for Ferg while we're building, feel free. I know that we've chatted before on a variety of different things, but I think we haven't seen each other in a long time. So we're just gonna, yeah. And so I may throw questions at him that he wasn't expecting, because you've actually been on some of the circuit, right? For doing some interviews, right?
I've been making the rounds, actually.
Yeah.
Because basically, lots of my builds have been being featured on a bunch of different stuff these days. And since I got that Citizen Brick Hall of Fame award.
Yes. In fact, that's what I wanted to ask you about, because I think on your profile, you're listed as number 9.
Yeah, number 9.
Right? Out of how many are in the Hall of Fame?
9.
Only 9?
Yeah.
Oh.
We may see number 10 this year.
Oh, wow. That Fiesta was wicked fast. Don't underestimate it. Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. So Debo knows cars. But the other thing I would say, I'm not going to put the stickers on mine, but these stickers, let me see if I can get I know that there's shadows here, so sorry about that. But these stickers, they have this kind of
The clear backs?
Yeah, they're the clear backed, and they're what's the word I'm thinking about? It's like a film.
Yeah.
So when you're putting these on, you also have to be super careful. And the last time I did this with the Dodge Challenger, they told you to put the sticker on first and then put the piece on, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's all the Speed Champions lines. You want to put the part on first and then the
Yeah,
sticker, because otherwise
exactly.
It won't line up exactly.
Yeah, and I was really upset because the first car I did, I followed the instructions, And then I put the stickers on. It was just like, oh, you're killing, or I put the parts on and then it was like, oh, you're killing me. So there's a little tip for you. And I got that directly also from Ferg too. And also I think Debo told me that too. Yeah, put the stickers on after. Don't follow the instructions, whatever the instructions say about stickers. So Allie's, oh my gosh, yes, cosplay. I'm going to go Dolores Umbridge at least one day. Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, so I'm kind of doing a pre-promotion about the dystopia area, and I'm also working, I think, it's hard to tell right now. I think Eric Wilkinson was the previous dystopian person, but he also is doing work in brick films. So I'm not sure yet if he's going to be working in that area. So you probably noticed that Ferg used his, what is it, like Bowie knife?
No, this is the SOG Trident knife. Actually, I've got. I'm a knife collector. I just like knives.
I was gonna say you didn't see this, I think, on camera, but he's using his knife and he's like tearing open the box.
Yeah.
And
local company out of Edmonds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Saw knife? Oh, okay.
Probably one of my favorites. I always recommend SOG knives. If you're in the
Okay.
market for a knife, look at SOG.
Well, I may be in a market for a knife now. Now that's a knife. But I like to open my boxes like a tray, and I notice you did the same thing, kind more or less. And because the other thing about these kits is that you'll notice that they have the push tab here,
The push tab never
which
works for me.
drives me
It
crazy.
never works.
Yeah, it drives me crazy. And then you end up with an open side here, and then you put your pieces in, where this is so much nicer. So open it like a tray, and then you have a building space as well. So sorry, you thought you heard Ferg's mom in the background. No, this is your place, right?
No, well, yes and no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay. Well, I mean, it's really cool that we're hanging out on the patio. And what I'm going to do with mine, I'm going to just, by the way, well, you know about this, right? That you don't open this like a chip bag. You don't know this?
No.
Okay, so Debo taught me this. Okay, a lot of people open the bags like this, like you're opening a bag of chips. No, you don't want to do that. So you look for the serrated edge, and then you open it like that.
I do that all the time. I never open it like a chip bag.
Yeah.
It always was too. It just didn't make any sense. It was too small for me.
Well, plus it would fly all over the place,
Yeah.
right? That if you open it like a chip bag. So anyway, this.
But then I can also use my SOG Trident knife as well.
Yes, you can. You just take that bag and have that cross motion on the bag. Yeah, I could see you doing that, Ferg. All right. So I think, yours, how many pieces is yours? Mine's 200. Okay, mine's 203. So it's about the same. But I will warn you, I'm a slow builder.
Okay. So. I've also got the Han Solo Millennium Falcon Rider from 2021.
Okay.
So
okay, cool. Yeah.
If I go too quick for you.
Oh, Doc Sampson is here. Hey, Doc. Welcome. I'm hanging out with my buddy Ferg for a Brickanista on the Move episode. Yeah. So I was mentioning earlier that Ferg is one of the reasons why I'm here in Seattle. And so, and I've been here now a year and about a year and a half, because I moved in November. And then I saw you at Bricks Cascade, because I don't think I saw you between the time I moved up here and Bricks Cascade.
No,
Yeah. And so it's like I haven't seen him in a long time. So it's just really great to reconnect. Yeah, and like I said, one of the things that I made fun of him about was he had this missing piece in his Avengers Tower, and it was driving me freaking crazy. So I told him he had to fix it. You have to fix that.
Yeah. Never gonna let me forget that one.
No, I will not. And that's an endearing quality of mine. Right? Yeah. But so, and the other thing Ferg did is he introduced me to Citizen Brick. And I have not gotten up early because Citizen Brick, Citizen Brick is in Chicago.
Yeah, their brand has pretty much exploded the last few years. So trying to get stuff, everything, you're not gonna get it.
It's not going to happen. But
I mean, even I can't do it.
But I did get a couple things that I thought were pretty cool, and one of them is, as you know, that elf, that one of your favorite elves, the one with the suspenders, and he's got like you know, Gary the elf. That's it, Gary the elf. So I posted, I think, one of my Christmas mocks, and you said that's my favorite CMF, or my favorite custom. Yeah.
Well, actually, my favorite Citizen Brick figure is my first, the mayor of Flavortown, the Guy Fieri figure.
Guy Fieri.
That's my favorite.
You know, he has restaurants in Santa Rosa. That's where I was living.
Yeah, he's got restaurants everywhere.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. So here's my minifig. Did you have your minifig?
I did have mine.
Yeah, he's already way past the minifig. He's already like.
He's got the Porsche club jacket there.
Yeah.
A leather jacket with the Porsche t-shirt.
And I noticed that because of the lighting that it's a little dark on my down camera, so I'll show it to the front camera here. But yeah, you think we need to advocate for a Lego Masters Pacific Northwest season? You know, we should just do our own. In fact, I'm going to ask Ferg because I don't know if you saw Mock Improv.
I did not. No.
Okay. So I think you might need to be one of the contestants, the next contestants for Mock Improv.
Yeah.
So what we did is we took a CMF. In fact, maybe we should do a Mock Improv using Citizen Brick figs. That would be cool because maybe we can get them to sponsor it.
Well, that's the thing. Joe doesn't sponsor anybody because he says his products already sell themselves. So
right.
He doesn't need to sponsor.
He doesn't need to sponsor anything.
I could be the Citizen Brick
of
Mock Improv.
That could be cool. Well, Mock Improv essentially is you have a minifig, and we took CMFs from Looney Tunes last Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
And then we spun the wheel, and each one of us, there are 5 competitors. And we say competitors, but we're not actually playing for a prize. And then each one of us had a CMF. And then we asked the audience for locations. So we spun for locations, and it was a house of mirrors. And then we spun for an activity, and it was like clowning around. Yeah. And so each one of us had 90 minutes to work on a 16 by 16. And it was so much fun. And all the people who participated. So we had Brickworm, Alexander 23, Debo, and Cornado. And the 5 of us, we had so much fun that we're going to have to do this again. Nice. So yeah, if we have a sponsor who wants to sponsor the CM.
I could potentially donate some Citizen Brick to
well, we want you to be one of the competitors, actually.
Well, that's kind of unfair, though.
Unfair?
A little unfair.
Oh, because you're just that good of a builder?
No, just because I basically got the whole Citizen Brick catalog behind me, you know?
Well, the thing is, you have to build a scene. Ooh. See, so think about your Citizen Bricks figures in a house of mirrors clowning around. Can you do it in 90 minutes on a 16 by 16? You probably could. I mean, everybody did a great job. Aqua Mike TV. Oh my God, it's Ferg. Your Avengers Tower was bomb, man.
Why? Thank you. Thank you.
That is Aqua Mike TV. Hello. Thank you. Welcome. And Joel Marbella says, I've had Citizen Brick minifigs in my cart at every event, but I balk at the $25 price tag.
Well, that is true. They are expensive, but the pad printing process is actually quite a monetary.
It's a high overhead.
It's a high overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you look at other pad printed figures on the market, they're like $200 a piece because
yeah, they're expensive.
So I feel that his price points are actually
pretty reasonable.
Pretty reasonable when you compare and think about all that has to go into it.
Right. And I will say that the other minifig that I have that I still haven't broken the seal on, I may end up selling it someday, is the wrestling enthusiast. I got that because of the rock and the tattoo arm. It is a beautiful piece.
That was a good figure when you released that.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty awesome.
You have one, obviously.
I have one and a couple of the misprint versions. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's the other thing Ferg turned me on to was the misprints. So I would go to the con, and I think I have a couple candy canes that were printed on one side instead of two sides. Yeah. So and it was funny because Ferg would tell me you have to go up to Joe's table and ask him, "Can I see the misprints?" And you have to say it kind of quiet.
The stash box.
The stash box. Yeah. Yeah. You can't like say, "Hey," because there's other customers hanging around the booth.
Yeah.
You gotta and Ferg has, told me the inside scoop on some of those things. So now for anybody watching or watching the replay. So so David says not bad on vacation today, so you're feeling better. Okay, what did I miss? Oh, Aqua Mike TV was asking how life was. Okay. So Debo prefers minifigs me personally. Minifigs.me. Oh, okay. Is that out of England? Minifigs.me?
It's somewhere in Europe.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've heard of them too. Yeah, because I think minifigs.me, I got a sig fig from Debo because I called Debo R2 Debo because we have on the Brickanista Broadcast Network, we have little pet names based on Star Wars characters.
Oh.
So I'm Brick Raynista. He's R2 Debo. Cornado is Cowboy Kenobi. So if you want to join in, we'll have to come up with a name for Ferg.
Yeah. Well, do you know the sticker trick with a flat edge?
Oh no. Okay, so okay, you're gonna have to show this to the camera.
Okay, I'll show this.
Yeah.
But you can use your brick separator. I like to use my knives because it's just.
Of course you do. Of course you're gonna use your knives.
It's a little bit smaller surface to handle.
See, I have a brick separator with eyes.
You can use the brick separator, but basically fold the corner of the sticker sheet over a little bit so the sticker is exposed. Slide your flat edge underneath.
This is awesome.
This is the trick.
Yeah.
So that way you don't get all your greasy hand oils all over it. Hang on, I got it.
Speak for yourself.
Hey,
I don't have greasy hands.
But you basically
wow.
Get it just there on the edge.
Yeah.
Of your flat edge,
and then you put the sticker on.
It's easy to line up then.
Now, see, I use Windex. You don't use Windex.
When you use the edge method, you don't have to.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The gauntlet has been thrown.
Then you get the perfect lineup there.
So, Joel, I'm going to put it in the chat. Yeah. Is that Ferg's Instagram account is Artifice12.
Correct. All lowercase.
So, and why don't you tell us, where did that come from?
A very great friend of mine just started calling me Artie one day, and I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
But she just started calling me that one day, and then just kind of stuck.
You liked it.
Yeah, it was all right, but
it was our little your little inside joke.
Correct.
My brother's name is Arthur, actually. Oh, nice. I call him Art every now and then.
But,
yeah.
Yeah, I just never changed it to any like Lego bricks account because I'm like, I don't post just Lego, on that.
Right, and if you could check out his Artifice12 account, I mean, he has a lot of really awesome builds, and he also on his stories will highlight different stories of different builds that he finds really interesting.
Of course, that's what you gotta do.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
A little cross promotion.
You gotta grow the community.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we were chatting a little bit about how he has been on the interview circuit.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things I learned in one of your podcasts that you were on, so I was hoping you'd be able to share this story too,
Oh, yeah.
about why you're so good left-handed in your builds.
Yeah, that was kind of a bad beat to start off with.
Oh,
But,
we don't have to talk about it.
No, it's fine.
Oh,
It's
okay.
good, all right.
Okay.
But yeah.
I think it's an actually interesting story, so that's why I thought if you're okay with it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a weird thing that happened to me in high school. I just had a brain stem demyelination, which is where the fat layer just kind of just disappears from your brain stem there. So
and it's pretty rare,
yeah,
right?
it is very rare. It's like 7 people that it happens to.
Oh, wow.
Yearly.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And then, so basically, I was starting to lose motor function in my left hand for a while, or my left hand. So I got to practice on my dominant right hand a lot, just to do stuff around the house and stuff. But
right.
Then I did the one-handed build competition at Bricks Cascade 2018.
And you crushed it.
Completely smoked
Yes,
everybody.
you crushed everybody.
Yeah, I was about the next person was about twice as long as I took, so that was kind of cool.
Twice as long?
Twice as long.
Wow. So and then I think in that podcast you said that was now your superpower.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's really fun when you start to see all the talents that people have that you may not have known, because some of you already know Ferg for other things, but I didn't know that about you, because I've only known you for a couple of years now, but that was really interesting just learning about that, because I haven't really been going to cons very much. I just started going to cons in 2018. And then when you introduced me to BrickCon, then it was just like, yeah. Like I said, he's my con enabler. So if I have anybody to thank for me being up here, because several people said, "Why did you pick Seattle?" I said, "Well, a couple reasons. One of them is I knew I could move in with a friend of mine pretty quickly. Another was that the Lego community here is just amazing.
Sea-Lug is pretty strong.
Sea-Lug and just the BrickCon community was awesome. And I think the other thing was we have 3 freaking Lego stores here.
3 Lego stores.
3. And in fact, when I told Ferg where I was moving to, he goes, "Oh, you're near the Alderwood Mall. In fact, you could do all 3 stores in like an hour."
I can hit all 3 in 2.5 hours. I can shop at all 3 in 2.5 hours.
And
the traffic's,
right. That's, I forgot about the shopping time. But yeah, I can, the farthest one for me is South Center, which will take 40 minutes for me to get there. But I can get to my Lego store in Alderwood in 12 minutes. And there have been times where I've had to do that. Where I would get there in 12 minutes time.
Yeah, my dad's fire station is about 2 blocks from there. So.
Oh, wow. Wow, yeah. So it was interesting because when I told him where I was moving, he goes, "Oh yeah, you're gonna have to do that." And the very first thing I did when I landed in Seattle, right after I moved my stuff in, my friend B and I went to the Lego store and I got the gingerbread house. I got the gingerbread house, and then I ended up meeting Tiago Caterino later, which is kind of wild too. And I ended up becoming a mod for him. Yeah. So you just never know how life is gonna turn out. You have to run? Okay, no problem, Dave. Thanks for tuning in. And this is not my usual time. I usually don't stream on a Monday at 2 p.m.
Well, we had the holiday yesterday.
Yeah, it was the holiday, and we were supposed to do this Brickanista on the Move yesterday, because I usually do them Sundays at 1.
Right, but that ferry traffic.
Yeah, we were talking about the ferry traffic, and I asked Ferg, I said, "Do you still want to do this, or should we postpone it?" And we were,
yeah, we can, but you might have a hard time getting over here.
Yeah, we just decided it'd be better to do it today, and I'm really glad we came to that decision.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good move. because I hate sitting in traffic. I don't think anybody likes sitting in
Yeah,
traffic,
I don't
right?
think anybody
Is
does
that
that.
anything anybody would say? What's your favorite thing to do? Oh, I love sitting in traffic. It's like it's so soothing.
Yeah,
You never hear that from
I
anybody.
don't think that's a real thing anybody would actually ever say.
Yeah, probably not. So you're actually putting your stickers on. Is that right?
Yeah, there's actually not that many for this set because it's not a sponsored race vehicle like yours is.
Right.
Those are just loaded with stickers.
This has way too many stickers. I just decided I'm punting on the stickers today. But yeah, so I've been yeah, so Ferg and I, like I said, we only go back a couple of years, but he's a good friend of mine, and like I said, you're the only one to get my sig fig with a classic classic face, the classic female pirate face, because you know that's all part of my jam, right? It's like that's what I do. I do pirate stuff, which I still need to get back into. I've been so busy doing challenges and things that I really haven't been focusing much on my pirate stuff. So yeah, but now that I'm done with Bricks by the Bay, that that was a lot of work. I ended up doing 8 mocks for Bricks by the Bay. Yeah, I was like a crazy woman. I was like, what was I thinking? Why am I doing all these mocks? Yeah, so I gotta now. Well, part of it is because I had signed up for the Jungle collab, and because of that, you know, you get special brick support, and I wanted to make sure I used those bricks because you know you don't want to like just order the bricks and say, "Oh, sorry, you can't participate." No, so I did participate in that, and then if Joel's still here, I ended up doing a camping mock for Let's Go Camping with some people from Tricky Leg, and that turned out really great. Oops, I just realized that I put these in the wrong place. Hold up, hold up. I did put these in the wrong place. This is what happens when I'm talking and building, is that I get distracted. Yeah. But anyway, so we were talking about pandas, pandas going cliff diving. so so Joel suggested the cliff divers, and then we ended up having judges of the pandas cliff diving. It just kept escalating, but it was so much fun. It was so much fun, and I ended up submitting that, and I showed it to a Sea Lug the other day, and they go, "How many pandas do you have on there?" I think I had 16.
That's a lot.
But I got most of them because of those panda heads were in the build your own minifigs.
Oh yeah.
And so I went to the Alderwood store and I said, "Can I have all the panda heads that you have?" And they got me 11. They got me 11 panda heads. I cleaned them out. Yeah. That's one thing it's been great is that I go to that store so often now that they know me when I walk in. It's like, what are you working on now?
Yeah, the Ballard store is usually my go-to. That and the Alderwood.
Oh, okay.
So, I know a couple of the.
Yeah, Jeff is the manager there, and that's how I ended up getting the Mario set. In fact, I think when Luigi comes out, I'm going to have to definitely get in line for that too.
Now, the reason why I love the Speed Champion sets is they have a lot of very useful pieces. And a lot of my favorite pieces too, like the 2x2 plate with studs.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
1x2 plate with bar holes in the middle of the studs, as well as the 1x1 round plate with bar hole and with bar.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
That's a useful piece because you can use it to make the exhaust outlets.
Yeah.
You can use it to make rear view mirrors. And it also has a mini tag hole in the middle of that.
Oh, wow.
So it can do 4 things off of just this one little part.
So are cars your favorite thing to build? Because like I said, when Deneen and I were practicing, we reached out to you because we knew you were big into cars.
I say it's up there, absolutely.
Mhm.
But since I've been a part of the Bubble Lug on Instagram community,
Oh,
building freeform Star Wars builds have been actually really fun.
Yeah, I noticed you've been posting a lot of those.
Yeah.
Tell us more about what's Boba like to begin with.
I got started with those guys back in, I think, January or February of 2019 there, which was super fun because I needed a Star Wars specific Lego user group to get accustomed to, because I've got about 80% of the catalog of Star Wars figures.
80%?
80%.
Because you just can't get enough Star Wars figures.
Well, yeah, because a lot of them have super unique parts that are only available with that one figure.
Oh, okay.
Which I use for all my fig making. So, but I also like Clone Army Customs, the custom clone.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm going to have to ask you this.
Yeah.
Bad Batch. What's your opinion?
I like it.
You like it?
Good. I mean, it really hits the found family trope, which I can never get enough of.
Oh, okay.
That's just like my favorite thing in media. But yeah, no, I like the Bad Batch. I think the last couple episodes, while good, they were a little slow. Need to get back in the action. But we'll see. We'll see how the series shapes up.
I'm still having a hard time watching it because it just reminds me of a video game. You know, just the way the animation is.
Okay, I see that.
It's kind of like whenever something takes me out of the story, because I'm thinking about how the technology was done to make it, then I shouldn't say it ruins it for me, but it takes away the enjoyment. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And that's kind of where I'm at with Bad Batch. I do like the storyline. I do like some of the characters. Like one of my favorite characters is the woman who does all the deals.
Oh,
what's her name? It's like, shut up, bandana. She's got such attitude. She's hilarious. It's kind of like, Sid. Yes, she is hilarious. Oh my God. You know, when she has that sass, you know, it's like when she calls that one bandana, I was just dying. Yeah, Hunter, that's it. Yeah. And then Wrecker is always like, oh, he's like the Hulk of the group, right? All he does is like, oh, I'm gonna wreck this.
Yeah, super strength.
Yeah. And then of course you got the techno tech, you know, who's, you know, you've got to have a computer person in the mix. Yeah. And Omega, you know, the other thing that kind of disturbs me about Omega is that it's like she's an adolescent hanging around with 5 grown men. It's kind of like, is there something wrong with this picture here? Where are child services? You know, it reminds me of Doctor Who. Do you watch Doctor Who?
I don't, but I know about it.
Okay, so Amy Pond, if you remember when Matt Smith was the doctor. Amy Pond, I think, when she first met the doctor was like 12. And then she like had her bags packed and she was ready to leave with the doctor. And then he did come back to like, I don't know, 10 years later when she was in her 20s. And it was like, yeah, the producers probably figured you probably don't want like a 12-year-old running off with, you know, this strange man from outer space. You know? Yeah. I don't know if there's any other Doctor Who fans out there, but I just thought it was interesting that this whole Omega character, I mean, she's, you know, I don't want to give out any spoilers, but let's just say she has a similar background to the other characters. Is that fair? Without giving out spoilers. I don't like to give out spoilers because I figure even though, like, I even don't give out spoilers for really old movies. Like I was talking about, was it 2001 Space Odyssey, which is like a 30-year-old movie. I said, okay, I'm not going to give out any spoilers. And I can't remember who my guest was at the time. They go, you know, Brickanista, that's like 30 years old. If they haven't seen it by now. You know? But it's just, I think it's one of those things that there's a whole new generation of people who are now discovering some of these classic movies.
Yeah.
So you don't want to spoil it for them either, right?
That
That's
is
kind of
true,
how
yeah.
I'm looking at it. So even though it sounds ridiculous, like, oh, no spoilers, you never know because people might want to see that.
Mhm.
Fish fingers and custard? What? What am I missing here? What is fish fingers and custard, Debo?
I believe, well, my co-manager where I work,
Mhm.
he's an English gent, so I think that is some English delicacy. 'Cause we were talking about
Fish fingers and custard.
we were talking about Doctor Who there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. That might be a Doctor Who reference. I don't know which reference that is, though, Devo. Sorry. I like Doctor Who, but I don't know all the mythology. And you're right. These parts, what did you call them? 2x2 with the stud on the end?
2x2 plate with the studs on one side.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's also a 2/3 in there. But...
Yeah, those are really, really good pieces. Definitely like that. So you're almost done with stickers, it looks like, on your vehicle.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10 stickers. So
Oh, okay.
Compared to your probably 40.
Yeah, this one, let me see how many is in here. 36, I think.
Yeah, so
36 stickers. So yeah, trust me,
and to
folks.
be fair, most of these are the same sticker, just mirrored. So it's not like it's a brain teaser, you know.
Yeah. Well, trust me, you should thank me that I'm not putting the stickers on. I'm doing you all a favor that you don't have to watch me put the stickers on. Okay, it's what the 11th Doctor had from Amy's fridge. Oh, fish fingers and custard. Okay. Yeah, the like I said, the Amy Pond Rory storyline was always interesting to me. But my favorite Doctor is David Tennant, who I think was the 12th Doctor, maybe 10th, the 10th Doctor. Yeah, he was my favorite. I always liked watching him, and then he's doing this new series where he's like this serial killer. I'm like, no, I don't want to think of you like that.
Well, he's already played one role like that before.
Oh, did he?
Kilgrave from Marvel's Jessica Jones series on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't get introduced to him that way. I saw him in Broadchurch too, where he played the detective.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I haven't seen him as a serial killer before. It's kind of like they're actors and they're playing a part,
right,
but
still,
it's like
oh, wow,
yeah, you just don't want to have to think of them like that. But yeah, I think it's interesting just how Doctor Who has been such well, it went on hiatus for a while, and then all of a sudden it came back in 2005. Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Fish fingers and custard is from the Amy Pond run. When the Doctor regenerated, they got hungry, and Amy's reference said fish fingers and custard. Okay, thank you, Joel. See, this is why I have to do this as a chat,
right,
because then people can give me all the scoop on what references are. Yeah. Yeah, so everybody's talking about the Bad Batch, of course, and I think you have to know the whole mythology if you watch some of the Clone Wars series, right?
Okay, the Clone Wars is like my personal. That's my personal Star Wars news because I grew up watching the Clone Wars series. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not like regularly because we didn't really have cable when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I would go to someone's house or go on vacation,
that's what you would want to watch.
I'd be like, oh, I want to watch the Clone Wars. Yeah. Okay,
that's why it particularly resonates with you then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, now that I've been an adult and I can actually watch it on my own, I've watched it through the whole series many times.
Uh-huh.
I just think that's my favorite era of Star Wars too. The ships are cooler and the
Mhm.
characters are better too.
Right.
And the Clone Wars was specific too because it kind of grew the universe
Right.
away from human characters.
Oh, right, because
Because it's
they're clones from Boba Fett, right?
Jango
Or
Fett.
Jango Fett.
Jango Fett, the
Okay.
original. But also like they sort of started growing the alien species in the entire
Mhm.
Star Wars universe,
Which
I
is
thought-
what Sid and some of the
right,
others.
'cause that's
Right.
what I thought when watching all the old movies and everything growing up. It's like, okay, it's this whole galaxy,
Mhm.
and you're only focusing on the human characters, none of these aliens.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Chewbacca, but still.
Right, right. And you had the Ewoks,
Right.
but you didn't
But it's
have a focus on
like
them.
you've got a whole galaxy out there, and you're focusing on people that we see every day. Like, that's a little unrealistic.
Oh, well, see, I've never really looked at it that way. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great that the Dave Filoni, I
Dave
think.
Filoni, yeah.
Yeah, oh my God, that guy's a genius.
Yeah,
And
he really knows what he's doing.
he is so in touch with the mythology, and that's why they recruited him for The Mandalorian too, as one of the writers,
Correct.
because he knows all of that. I mean, it's interesting because I don't know a lot about the mythology, but I like watching the behind the scenes types of
The lore.
yeah, and it was interesting because they had a special on, I think, all the directors that were part of The Mandalorian, because they rotated.
Right.
And it was interesting that like I had no idea that what's her name from Jurassic Park? Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
She was one of the directors too.
Yeah.
And it was just like, whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah, I saw that pop up in the credits.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
Well, you should watch the behind the scenes.
Because of course her dad is, of course,
Right, Ron Howard. Yep.
Yeah, so.
Well, she talks about that in the behind the scenes one. She talks about how when her dad would go to different meetings, that he would bring her with him, and she would be sitting there, and she was like a teenager watching her dad talk to these movie directors and producers and such. And so she just kind of absorbed it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's why I find it really cool and interesting.
Yeah, and then there's the guy from New Zealand, I think.
Taika Waititi.
Thank you.
I know, yeah. He's Maori, so his name to pronounce is a little difficult. But
Well, you nailed it.
He also played the droid Zero and IG-11 from that.
And wasn't he a pilot too?
No.
Three of the directors were
Rick
pilots.
Fukuyama, who was one of the directors, was a pilot, as well as Dave Filoni.
Right, and also the Asian woman was a pilot too.
Ming-Na Wen?
No, Ming-Na Wen is Fennec Shand.
Right.
No, there's another director who was also one of the pilots.
Yeah.
You taking off for dinner? Okay, take care. Thanks, Debo. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, Debo and I have been doing rebrick challenges, and he also participated in the mock improv. So maybe you should watch that episode before you commit. Before I say, okay, we got Ferg now. Is that no? If you wanted to, I mean, like I said, you don't have to sponsor it necessarily, but I think it would be cool if we maybe do a focus on Citizen Brick, because I might have to break out. I would break out probably my elf.
Yeah, Gary the Elf.
Gary the Elf. Gary the Elf could be mine. Okay, why is this? I got the wrong piece. Yeah, but so now that you've been to all of these different cons, is Bricks Cascade still your favorite?
I think it is my favorite because I think while BrickCon is good, the space that we still occupy is way too small.
I agree.
Because it's just grown, and it's been around for so long that it's grown so big.
Yep.
The space is still way too small. I mean,
I agree with you.
like those vendors are just, they basically have to glue their tables down.
Right, and then they added that little tent area,
That was nice.
which was nice, but it still seemed really cramped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that because that was my first time going to BrickCon, and I also was super impressed. I will say the one thing that's better about BrickCon than every other con I've been to, the pirate area is very well represented at BrickCon. Everywhere else, it's like pirates is like, an afterthought. So, and we have the Houston brothers to thank for that because the Houston brothers bring all of their ships. They have like 16 ships that they bring. And to see my ship as part of a huge fleet of ships, that was so much fun. And, I did like Brick's Cascade for the space, but all the pirate ships were all over the place. I mean, they weren't in the same place. And I was like, come on, we need to represent. Yeah, so that's why, in a way, having dystopia is going to be good for me because I can have airships. So you can have a pirate airship in a steampunk fashion there. So I've already kind of disclosed what I'm going to do. I'm having a hard time finding this piece. Why am I having a hard time finding this? Okay, I think I got it now. I'm like, if you're wondering why I was shuffling through those pieces so much. Okay. All right. Oh, this is what happens when you talk a lot while you're building is you skip things. All right, there we go. That's better. So, and I also try to build for the camera, as you probably noticed. And of course, he's done already. I told you I'm a slow builder.
911 is complete. But then again, I did have 30 less pieces than you did.
Well, that's true. Yeah. And I'm trying to keep the conversation going. Exactly. What do I talk about next? All right, so you're going to work on what, the Star Wars thing next?
101 piece Millennium Falcon Starfighter.
Yeah, you may still be done before me. You never know. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a fast builder, but I can be entertaining sometimes. On occasion, I try. But we haven't had any questions from the chat, except for that Aquamike TV was excited that you're here. Apparently, you're well known by several people.
Well, yeah, because I have not one, but 3 Beyond the Brick pieces on their.
Oh. Yeah. So, all right. So, which are the 3? Because I know about the one with the Avengers Tower.
Yeah,
Jurassic Park.
I got the Avengers Tower, the Jurassic Park, and I've also got my micro scale Scarif build from Star Wars Rogue One.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I have yet to be discovered by Beyond the Brick. I think it's because I don't have anything worthy yet for Beyond the Brick. That's why I was thinking about, a lot of the things that they focus on are really the over the top kinds of builds. Right, yeah. And mine are just kind of, ordinary.
Subtle, yeah.
Subtle builds. That's a good way to say it. They're subtle builds. Well, I think too, for me, I'm a fairly new builder. How long have you been building for?
20 years.
See, you got 18 years over me. So yeah, I haven't been building for very long. So I do cut myself some slack there.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I think that, this hobby, you can go deep pretty fast. And I think if you've been in it for a long time, your skills get a lot better too.
They do, yeah. But you also do a lot of experimenting too, and follow the tips and bricks page.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
They feature builders, basically almost different builders every time.
Right, and different techniques.
Have a different technique than you could,
Right. Yeah, Brickworm was showing us a technique she learned from Tips and Bricks about cobblestone.
Oh, yeah.
That was fairly recent. So yeah, I think it's the problem I have is that I stream so much. I've been streaming 6 days a week, or 6 times a week, I should say, 6 times a week, 5 days a week. And it's like, getting ready to stream and then having to work on, so sometimes I work on my own MOCs, like this mini city that I brought over.
Yeah.
That one I did on a stream. And what I like about streaming live is that, it gives me a chance to also get ideas from, the audience.
Okay.
But it's also hard for me to keep up with all the trends, right? And learning new techniques.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm trying to find a balance because I realized, yesterday was a holiday, so I took yesterday off. But
Right.
I've had some people say, "I'm so glad you're streaming. It's a good, distraction from what's going on in, in life right now." And I think that's part of it is we all need something to get us through this pandemic, right?
Yeah. For sure.
And I don't think you and I haven't built together. I mean, we hung out
Right.
at
We've hung
the
out, but we really
we haven't really built together, so this this has been good. This has been really good.
Yeah.
I can say I built with Ferg Pons, not together on the same build, but in the same on the same patio.
All right. Well, here we go. Two more of my favorite pieces
Oh.
in this set. The 1x1 round tile with bar and
Mhm.
1x1 tile with
Yes.
bar.
Yes, those are all great. I call the one by one tile with bar, I call that the baby bottle piece.
Yeah.
I use that over here to attach. Here, I'll show this
Oh
for the
yeah.
camera.
The bar. Yeah. The loop there.
Yeah, so I'll show the camera so people can see. Oops. Oh, there goes my tower. But this Trolls Tower, I have this, and it's translucent, which is also nice. Is that it does come in translucent colors.
Right. That was the first color
Yeah.
that came out. And then
Yeah.
they basically just kept going from there.
I held on to your 8x8 though,
Ooh,
so it didn't get destroyed. That's okay. It's Lego.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It's Lego. It'll be fine. Yeah. Okay. Take care. I'll text you later, Allie. Okay. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah. So I texted Allie. I said, "Oh, by the way, I know it's late notice, but I'm gonna be on Bainbridge Island." Yeah. And so she and I are gonna meet after the broadcast.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like this is our tribe.
That's right.
This is who we are.
Uh-huh.
And then I also did I leave the poly bag for you? Yeah, you have it there. So we have a poly bag for Diane, and she lives in Kingston. So it's just like, yeah. So she's gonna figure out a time to pick that up from you.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's like, that's what we do. We do broker deals.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I've been having fun and learning new things from people. And I think that's, just like also just learning about the community. I mean,
Yeah,
if it wasn't for you telling me about BrickCon, I probably wouldn't have come up to BrickCon.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing is that you know, I've met a lot of the people here in the chat. Is there good fish and chips on Bainbridge? Doc Sampson wants to know.
The Harbor Public House, quite literally 2 blocks from my house, south. That's pretty good.
Is that on Winslow?
No, it's on I forget the name of the street, but it's literally just down. It's the next block down.
That's one thing I've started learning already is like Winslow is like the place for a lot of food eateries
Well,
and such.
it's the downtown area.
Mm-hmm.
So downtown in air quotes because it's a small place. So.
Right.
But yeah, it's basically where most of the main restaurants are. There's a few out there, but they're obviously harder to get to.
Right.
Unless you got the water.
Well, that's another thing. I was really glad that I took the ferry and drove over here
Yeah.
because it is so convenient having the ferry and then being able to drive along the island. And I saw people with campers, and I guess, this is like a big campsite.
There's one campsite on the island. It's at Bainbridge State Park, which is up at the north end.
Oh, yeah, I passed by that. Yeah, I definitely drove past that.
At least I had to drive past the road to get there because a lot of the roads pretty much don't all connect to each other. It's not like a city where it's
Right.
If you miss the next turn, you can just take a left and go back.
Okay, I have to ask, do they not have 1x2 slopes in dark blue? Because they're using this other blue. This looks lame. Don't you think they would use dark blue instead of regular blue?
Right, but you also gotta look at the picture on the back of the box and see if that's how the car was colored.
Oh,
the real
that's
car was
true.
colored.
That's true. It could be. Yeah, it looks like it. I think it's because the stickers will make it look better. Right now, I'm looking at this going, I want that to be dark blue. This is lame. But like I said, I'm not putting the stickers on, so that's kind of my bad. Okay, we need a Snohomish King County YouTube lug. Do you have a YouTube channel
I do
too?
not know.
Okay, so yeah. I just know Ferg, and I figured he wouldn't mind being on my show.
No, not at all.
Yeah, he's cool. That's true. He's very accommodating. Plus, he hasn't seen me in a long time,
That's right.
so it's kind of like, yep. If that'll get you out to Bainbridge Island, I'll come on over. Yeah, I think that's the other thing is that like you and Allie and Diane are all kind of here on the island.
Correct.
And then the other thing that was interesting is that I thought I was on Bainbridge Island when I landed in Kingston,
Oh,
but
yeah,
that's a
no.
different island, right?
Kingston is not an island. It's just on the water.
Oh,
There's Bainbridge, but there are quite a lot of islands actually just around the place.
yeah, because I remember I drove over a bridge and it said, "Welcome to Bainbridge Island," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm not on Bainbridge just yet." Now I am.
Now, if you land in Kingston, you're still on the peninsula there, but
Oh,
you're
okay.
not secluded there.
Yeah, it's been great because now that I feel a little bit more comfortable driving around,
Yeah.
because I think too, just being new to the area. I mean, I'm not really new, I guess, because I've been here over a year, but it's new to me because you grew up here.
Correct.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that's a funny thing that I realized when I was getting to adult age. Is like I'll travel the country and people are like, "What's a ferry?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?
what's a
What are you
ferry?
talking about? It's the boat that you go on to get to the city."
It's a boat that you go on to get to the city.
Like nobody knows what a ferry is.
Wow. Well, and I think that's also it's I grew up in San Francisco, so I know what ferries were. But I think if you're, in a landlocked state where there is no water, yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
I think the other thing I love being up here is that it rains a lot. And I grew up in a city called Daly City in the southern San Francisco area.
yeah.
And we had fog all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like clockwork, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I love cold weather. Not super cold weather. I don't like, snow and minus 10-degree temperatures, but I just love being in this area. So I'm really working hard to stay here. My parents are like, "Are you going to stay in Seattle or are you going to move again?" Because I have moved a lot in the last couple of years for various reasons, but I really love it up here. It's and now that I've also found this Lego community, I think that's the other thing that's just so nice. There's so many awesome people up here. And Brickworm, I think you know the story about Brickworm, right?
Yeah.
So Doc Sampson says fairy, not fairy, Fairy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Brickworm and I met at BrickCon. So I didn't know her until I moved up here, and she's one of my best friends up here.
I thought you knew her before.
No, no. See, something new for you. Yeah, now Brickworm and I have only known each other since BrickCon. So I've known you longer than I've known Brickworm.
Okay, that's a shock to me because I thought you knew her.
No. Brickworm and I are fairly new friends, and yeah. So she and I met at the Women's Brick Initiative, And through that, we were, we happened to be sitting at the same table.
Yeah.
And then after that, she didn't have anybody to hang out with. And I said, hey, you know, I'm over in the microscale area because there was no place for me to sit in Pirates. It
Right.
was completely booked. And microscale, there was so much space over there. So I just started hanging out there. So we started building at the microscale area, and she had a microscale building, a replica of one of the downtown buildings. And so I told her, put it on this Micropolis base plate, and then you're part of the city. And she did. And that was her first mock. And then she's just exploded. Oh my God. She has been getting all these awards, and she's also been doing a lot with her quilts. Yeah. Have you contributed her? You need to do that, Ferg. Ferg. Yeah, see, it's great because he can harass me for not going onto the Jurassic Park building that, and I can harass you for other things. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because, like, even though I've only known you for a short amount of time, that you, in fact, you gave me a hard time at Bricks Cascade because it was like, I always thought you were busy doing something, so I didn't want to come up and ask you for the parts, right? And then I said something like, yeah, I think I need to catch up with you about the parts. You go, I've been here. I've seen you lots of times. How come you haven't like come over? I was like, well, you were like talking with somebody. Or...
I'm like, so?
Yeah. 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 Well, now I know. See, now we're at that part of the friendship where you can harass each other. It's like, yeah, it's really funny. But like I said, when we met at Bricks by the Bay, it was really cool that I really didn't think much of my Spice Pirate ship. It was kind of like, okay, I'm going to put this in. And then you were really encouraging. And then I won the award. That was just like, that blew my mind because it was like my very first mock. And I won the best high seas award at Bricks by the Bay. What is the Seattle convention called? It is called BrickCon. In fact, that's why I'm wearing this shirt, Doc. This is the BrickCon 2019 shirt, which was, I think, Build It, or I think was the name of the theme. And this was my first in-person attendance because I was supposed to attend in 2018, but my plans had changed. And then Ferg is the one who told me to bring Spice Pirates up to BrickCon. And you said that before I got the award. That was the cool thing is that. Well, you know, it was interesting as I think we're always our own worst critic, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I didn't think much of it. I said, okay, it's my first mock and, you know, we'll see. I think somebody else had won in the high seas category, but then they have an overall high seas category, which is where they go through the entire convention floor and look at all the things that have been nominated. So mine was in pop culture. So somebody had nominated mine for the high seas category. And that's when I ended up winning. It's like, whoa, yay, I'm legit. I'm not a fraud. And you're right about these. I think this is an Apollo stud, right? The Apollo stud with the hole in the middle, the translucent ones. Yeah, those are good. What is, let's see, and are you showing at the Bricks Cascade? Maybe. I mean, I'm planning to go to Bricks Cascade, but I just don't know if I will be there. I mean, I think we're all kind of in the same wait and see mode. But they did announce Bricknick. Right? And it sounds like you're going, right?
Yeah, I am gonna do that.
Yeah, because there's a picture of Boone Langston with Ferg.
Yeah, I met up with him last week. So
yeah, where did you end up meeting in Portland? Did you go down there?
No, he was actually up here, and well, he was hanging out with his family on vacation.
Oh, cool.
And, we met up in Paulsville and grabbed a bite to eat.
Oh, nice, nice. He's a super nice guy.
Yes, he is.
In fact, that's one of the things I need to get for you. Is he helped me with my "May the Clutch Be With You" artwork. Yeah,
Nice.
he's super cool. Yeah, so when I was at Brooks Cascade, I showed, I think, a mini my a micropolis. I had bat duck there.
Nice.
You remember bat duck? So I was a women's brick initiative thing, and they said I went off script. And it's like, well, yeah, I'm going to go off script. That's what we do as mock builders.
That's right.
Yeah. Like they said, Brickanista, plays to a different drummer. It's like, yep, that's right. Yeah, essentially they gave us a template to create a the duck, the original duck, the wooden duck.
Oh, the wooden duck. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a template, and they said just color it any way you want. And I said I want it to be a Batman duck. So I made it a Batman duck.
Nice.
Yeah. And it was a little smaller in profile, but it was yellow and black, and it was Batman riding on the duck.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I don't think they were too upset, but it was fun to do and be a part of a collab too, because I hadn't done a lot of collabs at that point. All right, so we have this back fender, which is cool. Okay, I'm getting closer to being done. Like I said, I'm not a fast builder. I can already tell that you're almost done.
No, I finished.
You
with-
finished
I
already?
with both of them.
I told you I'm not a fast builder.
That's okay.
I'm still working. I'm still working on this. That's good. I'm glad he's not ready to kick me out yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Don't worry, we'll kick you out. We'll kick you out when the time is right. No, I think like I said, it's just cool hanging out with you.
Yeah.
It hasn't been a long time. Yeah, because I think too, that's also when I got to know Charles Wallace, because
Oh,
he was the theme coordinator for pop culture.
right.
And that's where he had assigned, I guess, both me and Ferg as volunteers in that area. And I remember asking you, I said, oh, yeah, so where are you based? And you go, Seattle. I go, really? And you're volunteering here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think part of it, I think if I remember, you said you like to volunteer so you can keep close tabs on your mock.
Yeah, because I would hang out at the Star Wars booth at First Cascade a lot, and
Mhm.
just talk to people. 'Cause
Right.
A lot of people just want to know about stuff.
Right.
Granted, 90% of the time it's the same question over and over again, but
Well,
some people are
especially
just
with
like,
your Avengers Tower.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that when you, though, released Avengers 2.0
Yeah,
Tower,
2.01, yeah.
like, wow.
Yeah, that was I got a lot of questions about that one.
Okay, I don't know what this emoji is, Doc. Is that hand clapping or what is that? Or, oh, it's a snail. He gave me 3 snails for being a slow builder.
Uh-oh. You did the three snails,
Well,
gotta get the
he
five.
built with me too, which was funny. Doc and I met at a library,
Oh,
and he and I were working on, I was working, I think, on the Thanos mech, and he was working on the Miles Morales mech, and he smoked me too. So that's why I just tell people, just realize I am a slow builder.
yeah.
I like to take my time. Like, I
That's
like
okay.
to savor the experience.
That's okay.
That's what I say. Not all of us can be fast builders, we
Mhm.
leave that to the professionals. Yeah, but Charles Wallace sounds like a character from a movie or from a novel.
It kinda does.
Yeah, that's true. He's a nice guy. He's a super nice guy. He actually helped me with the naming of the characters
Oh,
of the Spice Pirates,
nice.
because I think I told you about that, right? That each one of them
Yeah,
we gave a similar name as if the Spice Girls.
right.
Yeah. So like one of them, the redhead, we made the redhead with the peg leg. So she would be Peggy. It was fun. Yeah, but no, I made sure that each of the Spice Girls had the right kind of hair.
Mhm.
But I think the funniest one is that we realized, and I'll just mention this here, with these minifigs that you can put studs on the back. So we made one with the big butt, and we called her Booty.
Nice.
So that was one of the contributions from him and Dave. Yeah, so we ended up hanging out a lot in that convention. That was fun. Yeah. Well, I think you got to have a sense of humor, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, life's way too serious.
Mhm.
And I think that's the thing that I love about Lego and the Lego community is that, you know, clearly this is a hobby for many of us. Some of us can make it into a career, but you know, it's a good distraction from a lot of the crap that's happening in the world, especially right now with the pandemic. But I'm just really grateful for the people that I've met. I mean, just awesome, helpful, super nice people. And I don't know how many other communities have that kind of sense of camaraderie
Right, yeah.
and on an international level. That's the other thing.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, because I belong to another nonprofit, which is also international. And so when you go to another club of this nonprofit, then you just kind of fit right in. Same
Right.
thing with Lego is that, you know, if you're into Lego and you happen to be traveling overseas and you just connect with the, you know, the local lug. I know that there have been a couple people from Europe who've come in and met with people from Baylug,
Mhm.
and you know they'll meet for dinner and just hang out. It's like, yeah, that's what we do.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. So, what are your next big plans for a build?
I think I'm gonna start on a small Bad Batch episode build
Really?
because the Cad Bane reveal in a couple episodes ago that was pretty awesome because Cad Bane is one of my favorite characters from the Clone Wars series.
Hmm.
So I think I'm gonna do a little scene from that.
A scene of Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm not sure which character that is because how many episodes have happened? I think I'm up to episode 8.
Yeah, I think we're on episode 10 or 11.
Okay,
And
so I have yet to be introduced to Cad Bane then.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a good
I
character.
ended up with the episode where Sid had to babysit Omega.
Oh, that was
and-
the most recent episode.
Oh, okay.
Cad Bane's the blue cowboy.
The blue cowboy, yes. Yes, the other bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know the names of the characters.
No,
Now I do. Thank you. Yeah, see, you need to educate me on a lot of stuff. That's why you know, I hang out with you is I get to sound cooler than I am
That's
when I
right.
start learning about the right terminology. That's funny. Yeah, I think when I started hearing about the Bad Batch, and then I found out it was a Star Wars thing, I said, okay, I'm going to have to learn more about this.
Yeah.
Clearly, this is a thing. Because sometimes you don't know if it's like a cult following or if it's
Right, of
really
course.
a thing. This is a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm almost done with this. Let's see if I put this.
You're almost there. Ooh, I also like those triangle tiles. Those are fun.
Yes, yes, the triangle tiles are fun. Okay, so yeah, this is coming together nicely. I'll show this to the camera here. Yeah, and like I said, I'm not putting stickers on. If you really want like 5 snails, Doc Samson, it would be having me put the stickers on too while I'm doing this. So you're going to do a Cad Bane mock,
Yeah,
you think?
a little Cad build with a Cad Bane custom Cad Bane figure that
Oh, you have a custom one?
Yeah.
You've made this on your own?
Yeah, I of course took a few different official Cad Bane parts, but then I combined a bunch of other ones and then used some Brickanista parts.
Wow. Well, you know, Cad Bane, his character reminded me of the Clint Eastwood character, which I'm assuming is what they kind of did.
Yeah, because of course Star Wars is based on knights and stuff. and then Knights and Samurai and stuff. And then they also took inspiration from Western.
Well,
Cad Bane's design.
And I think that original Western was inspired by, is it Akira Kurosawa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm now onto the wheels. Finally, she's on the wheels. Yay. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, when I was telling Allie, I said, yeah, I'm not sure how long the broadcast is going to go. It depends on how fast I build.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, it's interesting too that before I came up to Seattle, the other reason why I chose Seattle is that I started a vegan diet in September of 2019.
Nice.
And then I moved up here 2 months later, and oh my gosh, there are so many great vegan options here.
That is true.
And the other thing, when I was at BrickCon, there was this Chinese restaurant just up the street, and they had all these vegan meats that they put into their dishes. And I was like, okay, I have found my place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And California was always good for vegan options, but it was just, when I was thinking about places to move, like one of them, my family is in Scottsdale, Arizona, way too hot. So that was one thing. It was like, I love you, but it's way too hot there.
Yeah.
And then when I was just researching different places, I said, Seattle has a lot going for it. And there we go. I got wheels.
There you go.
I got wheels. I got wheels going on. Okay. I'm towards the tail end. I can see like there's maybe 10 to 12 pieces left. So yeah, like I said, I'm a slow builder, but hey, I still got people watching. So, I think they're finding the conversation interesting is what I'm guessing.
I sure hope so. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's all we're doing. We're just yakking, and it's called a build and yak. It's like we're yakking about stuff. Yeah, but so are you now that let's go back to Brick World again. So you have your ticket refund and all of that.
I've got the money and the flight, and so I could potentially go out there for next time they have it. So I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. Because of course the Citizen Break HQ is right there.
Right. I was gonna say you're gonna have to take a tour of the HQ, right?
Yeah,
you're there.
It's about 2 miles away from the Schaumburg Center where they hold it. So.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. That's like the Comic-Con of.
That's
right?
What I've been hearing, yeah.
Because there's just so many people.
Yeah.
It's like, if I remember right, when I was reading about it, it's like the builders themselves are several thousand builders.
Right. Yeah.
Because BrickCon and Bricks Cascade had maybe 500 or so builders. I think Brick World has double that.
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah. So what Ferg does is he scouts out the cons, and then he's the enabler who tells me to go.
Yep, that's right.
That's how it works. Okay, that goes on the anti-stud. There we go. See, this to me, without the stickers, it looks like a snowplow. Right. And this is on the hood, somewhere on the hood. Hold up. So is this swap out? So you can take this one out?
Two different hood parts.
Oh, okay, got it.
So you can either have just the regular,
right,
or you have the one with the free light setup there.
I see. So you can, I guess, just pull this part out. Yep. And put this part in. Oh, interesting.
And it's got a
okay.
Up, yeah.
That folds like that. Up like that. Yeah. Okay.
The rally lights.
Nice. And then of course you got to put the windshield. Oh, you got to put the driver in there. Since I have the thing off, I put the driver in. Yeah, I think that's, like I said, I don't do a lot of cars. Yeah. But because I was coming to see you, I said, I need to build a car. And I just won this Speed Champions. Thank you, by the way, Remy Baker, from his Brick Literacy account. he was giving away things and I won. So yeah, so this was a nice gift. All right. So I think that's it. I'm guessing. Like I said. Doc Sampson is weeding and listening. Okay, good. Yes, I'm at the end. I can tell I'm at the end here. Woo. Now, I guess I'm not quite at the end though.
Oh,
I've got
the wheel inserts. If
wheel
you
inserts.
so choose, you can
You put those in there?
You can put them inside the wheels. Yeah,
Right here, right?
About,
they have two different kinds. They have two different kinds of hubcaps. It looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, which do you prefer?
I prefer the 5-spoke.
Yeah, I was just gonna look at the 5-spoke ones. I don't know, these don't look as appealing to me. Not like these 5 ones. Yeah, that's, as they say on the Brickanista Broadcast Network, it's dope, yo. Yeah. So did you do anything special for the 4th of July? No?
No,
Just hang out?
just hang out.
Yeah. Well, we were supposed to meet yesterday,
Right,
but
so
I'm
it
really
was
glad
just
we
a lot
didn't.
of-
It was so
a lot of-
chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely a good move. I think we made the right choice.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely need the hubcaps on here. It looks a lot better. Though it does look kind of like a starfish. Like, now that I'm looking at it this way, I might swap them out later, but it is a nice little ride. It's a nice little ride there. Okay, so there you have it, folks. So we've been chatting now for like an hour and 48 minutes.
Boy, 2 hours.
Yeah, almost 2 hours. I told Allie, I said, I don't think we'll be done till about 4. I was right.
You're right.
Yeah, but this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me and for letting me use your Wi-Fi.
That's all right.
That's the other thing, is that I've been going through my list going, okay, who can I visit who would let me use their Wi-Fi and wouldn't mind, just hanging out on the deck.
That's right.
So it was fun. Cool. So I think that just means, hopefully, once I get fully vaccinated, because the other thing is we're outside and we're keeping 6 feet apart. But I'm waiting for Novavax. Anybody who's watched my channel knows that, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm an anti-mRNA vaxxer.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for Novavax, and I'm hoping that it will be approved soon. That's what they keep saying. This is 3rd quarter. They said 3rd quarter, it should be approved. So my hope is maybe in the next month or 2. But until then, I guess we can always do this again sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe you can come out our way.
Yeah, maybe.
The only problem is my apartment complex, there is this really cool picnic bench area, but I don't know if my Wi-Fi will
I don't think it'll
reach
reach,
that
yeah.
far. Yeah. But I don't know. We'll figure something out. Like what I did with Doc Sampson is we met at the parking lot of a library.
Mm.
That's what we did. And then Allie, I think she took off, but Allie likes to come over and go to Ragazzi Pizza. So, I don't know if they have Wi-Fi, but I'm gonna have to do that. Or maybe I'll have to come back to Bainbridge Island
Maybe I'll come back.
and I'll have to do this with Allie, and then we'll do the opposite. I'm hanging out with you and then meeting with Allie after,
Right.
and maybe I'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
Then we won't have the pressure of the video cameras on us. Because just you wait till the conversation when the cameras are off. Right? Anyway, thank you again, Ferg.
Of course.
This was
absolutely.
great. This was a lot of fun. And I always, like I said, every time I work on cars, so I worked on the Speed Champions, but whenever I work on cars, I usually think about Ferg, or whenever there's a convention going on. I said, yep, I got to ask my enabler,
That's right.
should I go to this convention or not? And then I also, I have to say, now that I'm on camera, I will be working, my next big mock will be this.
Yes.
And since you're here, do you build on the mill standard or do you just base plate?
I don't even do base plates. I freeform the bases.
You use plate levels then? Like, I have a bunch of, I just bought a bunch of 16 by
for the
16.
collab Well,
Yeah.
it is base plates.
Base plates, not plates, base plates. Okay. And then you build up from that. So are you using green, just standard green for the base plate?
Yeah,
Okay.
green or the brown. Yeah.
Brown. I didn't even know they made brown base
Only in the
plates.
detective's office Lego set.
Oh, well, I have a 16 by 16 in brown, but not the 32 by 32 in brown. Okay. All right. So that means I need to go buy a bunch of green base plates. And when we were talking, you have actually, did you want to give people a tour of your CMFs before we go dark, or should we save that for another episode? We'll save that for another episode, especially because I think Aquamike TV is no longer here, because I think he was the one who was really interested in that. Yeah, we'll save that for another time. So anyway, thank you again, everybody. As they say, let me get this all prepped because I know I have to do some special magic behind the scenes here. Is that I know that we don't have to go raid anybody, thankfully. But as they say on the Brickanista Broadcast Network, thank you very much, Ferg. Thank you, everybody who have been supporters of mine. I know it's been an interesting journey. I've been streaming since September, and I started on Twitch, and then I started moving to YouTube in December, but it's been a lot of fun. And I love this Brickanista on the Move because it forces me to get out there in the middle of this pandemic and visit with some of my friends. So thank you, Ferg. It's been awesome hanging out with you. And as they say on the Brickanista Broadcast Network, may the clutch be with you. Take care.